Yes, in the last class we have learned about these functions in an arrays concept. So that is the last topic in this chapter, function with arrays. Function with arrays. Okay. So this is a very important topic. In the last previous question paper it has asked. So these are the some of the possible small question and answers, and here the long question answers are exist. So besides this also you can go through your previous question paper. In your previous question paper, a solved question paper is already posted, so you just go through it carefully. Okay, and we will continue in the next chapter. Yes, let us see what is the next chapter. Chapter 12. Our chapter 12 is the storage classes. Okay, now we will see this storage class. Storage class defines what? Okay, yes. So chapter 12, it is the storage classes. This is also one of an important topic. 2 marks as well as 4 marks question will come from this chapter. Is observed, it consists of only 3 page. Within this 3 page you can learn, you are having 4 to 6 marks questions. Okay, let us see what is the storage. What is the purpose of the storage? To hold the values, right? So here it is specifying that the storage class defines the following: where the variable would be stored. So now we are taking the variables in our programs, then where the variable would be stored, whether it is in the memory or it is in the register. Now you are familiar with what is a memory: RAM, ROM, right? Registers. Got it? Yes, you have learned in your FIT as well as in your computer organizations. Now we will see storage class defines the following. What are those? Where the variable would be stored, and the next one is what will be the initial value of the variable if initial value is not specifically assigned. Suppose if we not assigned a value to a variable, what is its default value, whether it is some garbage value or it is 0. Okay, some unwanted value or 0. Okay, that we have to identify. Then what is the scope of the variable, in which function the value of the variable would be available. Here it comes the scope. The scope plays a very prominent role in your C programming language. Now we will see what are the scope of the variable. Scope indicates how long the variable would exist. Okay, how long it can be accessible. Okay, in which function the value of the variable would be available, in which functions of the value of the variable would be available. It is just like as in your PUC. What is the scope of your PUC? 2 years, right? Till 2 years you are enjoying your classrooms in your college. Now you are not having any rights to go and sit in your PU college. Got it? That is the scope, and you can go and sit anywhere till your scope in that college, right? Now it comes, the next topic is life. What is the life of the variable? How long would the variable exist? So life is also specifies how long it specify how long you have you are in PU college. 2 years. Scope indicates you can sit anywhere, right? Anywhere in any classes. Whether it is possible? No. But we are just kidding and we are saying, right? You are accessible within your class or within sports class or within extracurricular activity class or within talents day class and within cultural class, within annual day classes. Got it? That is the scope. So you are accessible, right? Means you have participated in those events. That is your scope. And life indicates how long. So your PU, how long you will be there? 2 years, right? Now if you joined in a degree college, it is your life is 3 years, and scope is you will be accessible in various courses. For example, you have joined BCA. Suppose if your extracurricular activities is NSS or NCC or is roads and rangers, you can go through that, and that is the scope of you, and you will be accessible. You will call for that events, and you will call for cultural activities and so on, right? Yes, anyhow, now there are 4 storage classes in C. In C programming language, actually C is a C. Okay, not a C is a C, C is a SEAC. Okay, let us see. There are 4 storage classes in C. What are those? First one is automatic storage class, second one is a register storage class, third one is static storage class, and fourth one is external storage class. So these are the 4 classes of storage classes in C. Let us see examine one by one. First, automatic storage class. Let us see what is automatic storage class. The feature of a variable defined to have an automatic storage class arrays under follows. We will see what are the features of automatic storage class. If you observe here, the first feature is the storage. If you take the automatic variable, then where will the automatic variable will store? In memory. It will store in memory. Then what is the default initial value? If you take the variable and if you have not assigned a value to your variable, then it will take unpredictable value. So this unpredictable value is also called as garbage value. It will take some unwanted values, unpredictable values. These unpredictable values are treated as an garbage value. And next one is the scope. The feature of automatic storage class is scope. It is local to the block in which the variable is defined. Okay, it is local to the block. Wherever the variable you have declared, it become a local scope. You can access within that block. Okay, you are unable to access outside of the block. Okay, and next one is the life. The life of this automatic variable is till the control remains within the block in which the variable is defined. So how long what is the life of the automatic storage variable? The life of automatic storage variable remains within the block in which variable is defined. Okay, right. So now you have taken the admission into BCA, but you will be accessible through from BCA. You are unable to access through from BCom or BA or some BSc. Clear? So that is your life. Okay, how long you will be accessible? Till to another 3 years. After 3 years we are unable to accessible you. Got it? So because your life has exceeded, after the 3 years your life has exceeded, your scope has ended. Clear? Yes. To understand these automatic storage class, let us see some following program is there. Okay, this following program shows how an automatic storage class variable is declared and the fact that if the variable is not initialized, it contains a garbage value. To understand here, please observe here. I am taking main function here. Auto is a keyword. Before that int, you are specifying the auto. Even if you provide the auto or not, you are taking the automatic variables, automatic storage classes. Okay, till now we have not initialized the keyword auto, so these are the automatic variable, automatic storage class variables. Okay, yes, whatever we have done till now, it is an automatic storage class. This automatic storage class, where does the variable will store? In memory. Okay, in memory, if I take int I comma j, how many bytes will be occupied? 2 bytes. So I will be occupied 2 bytes and j will be occupied 2 bytes. If I take the float, it will be occupied 4 bytes 4 bytes. If I take char, it will be accessed 1 byte 1 byte. If I take double, 8 bytes 8 bytes. Got it? Yes. Now we'll see int I comma j. Then what is its scope? Its scope is within this block only. The life is also within this block till to the end of this block. You can't access. Then what is its default initial value? It is a garbage value. For example, if you run this program, you are seeing I am producing here 1211211. It is a sum of a unpredictable value, so it is treated as a garbage value. Okay, let me copy this program and I will explain you now through this concept. Okay, notepad, let me paste it and let me modify the program. Void main. So it is always better to take hash include stdio.h hash include. These are compulsory. You have to specify conio.h, and after the variable declaration, so even you not specify the auto keyword, then it is nothing but an automatic storage classes. Okay, after the end of the program get ch. So how long does life of ij will exist? Till to this block. What is the scope of this variable? You can accessible within this block only. Okay, yes. Now I am saving this file. Now I am saving this file. This is a sample program relevant to your automatic storage, and I'm ensuring that, right, I will give autovar.c. What is the name of the file? autovar.c, automatic variable. Okay, so for our understanding purpose we are taking like that, and now we'll see. Let me open my editor. I'm opening. Yes, it has started. Start Turbo C++. Yes, let me open my file. What is the name of the file? autovar.c. This is our program, right? Yes. Let me see now. I'm compiling Alt F9. Is there any error? No error. Now I'm running Control F9. You are seeing -28768 12803. We have not initialized any value, hence it has stored in the memory. It will apply the default initial value as garbage value. These are the garbage value. Okay, yes. So that is the automatic storage class. Here this program will explain scope and life of a automatic variable. Okay, so please observe here the main function. After the main function you are declaring the variable as auto is nothing but whatever the variable you are declaring as. Till now it is an automatic. Even if you use the keyword auto or not is not a problem. Okay, int I is equal to 1. You have initialized I value as a 1. Here the block starts. Please observe here the block. One more block is starts, right, and one more block is starting, and I am displaying the value of I. Now what is the value of I? It will display 1. Okay, here it will display 1, and after this block one more output statement is exist within this block. If you print, okay, if you print this block, then what is the value of I? It is 1 only. After the end of this block we are having one more block. Here also you are printing the value of I. Now what is the value of I? Here also it is 1, right? So after this I value has ended. The life the scope of this I value has ended here, but till you are accessing here, right? So within this block you are accessing the value of I here. Okay, within this block you are accessing the value of I here. So the scope of this variable is within this block only, and the scope of this I value is within this block only, and the scope of this I is within this block only, and the life of the I is till to the end. So where the program ends? Here. So till you can access the life of the variable. Okay, so let me copy this program and explain. Okay, I will copy here. Let me paste. So we don't need this. Okay, now you are understanding. This is block, this is one more block, this is one more block. So this is the block where I ends, and this is the block where this block ends, and this is the block where this I ends. Okay, and here the get ch, and where we have to supposed to give this clear screen function. As you know, right, after the variable declaration we have to supposed to give clear screen, right? CLR, this is here. Save it, and save it now. Sorry, save as now autovar1.c. just save it. Okay, now open it, alt enter, and open your file. What is the name of the file you have to open? You have to open autovar1.c. so this is our program. So please observe here I am running. Let me first compile. Is there an error? No error. Let me run. Is there an error? No error. So it is giving 1 1 1. So I will show you how the sequence of execution will done by pressing function key F7. So if I press here, first it starts from the main function, whatever the initialization you have provided, it will initialized. Next it is entering the inner block, so the scope of this I is within this block, and afterwards it will come within this block. The scope of I is within this block itself only, and now it comes here, and the scope of the block is within this, and still here the block has ended. You can also access I here because the life of I is exist here, right? Till here it is exist, right? So you can give one more printf, and if you try to print %d comma I, %d comma I, once again you can access. Why? Because the life of the variable is till to the end of the program. Where the program ends, here the program ends, right? Okay, now let me compile and run. We will get 4 ones. Clear? Yes, hope you understand this concept, and if you have any doubts, please ask me. Okay, so this is about your automatic storage class. So auto is the keyword. Even if you have provided, not provided, whatever the variable till now we have declared it as an auto variable. Now we are moving to the register storage classes. Okay, let us see the features of variables defined to be register storage classes are as under follows. So we will see the register storage class features. Okay, now we will see the storage. The storage of register class is CPU registers. As we know, what is a register? Registers are the fastest memory. Okay, tiny memory. In the tiny memory we are storing our values. Okay, right. If you are taking the register storage class, where the variable will store, the variable will be stored in your CPU registers. And what is the default initial value? Default initial value of register is also garbage value, and its scope is local to the block in which variable is defined. Its scope is also local to the block in which the variable is defined, and the life till the control remains within the block. How long the life of a variable exists? Within this block itself only. Okay, outside of the block you are unable to accessible. Got it? As for understanding this program, let us see here. Here we are declaring the variable by using the keyword register. Int is your data type. Here register is a keyword. It clearly indicates you are storing the value of I in CPU registers. So now I am giving int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. You are displaying the value of these things. Then this value will be executed through from the registers. Means in registers in the sense means uh, registers in the sense means it will store. Okay, see, if variables will store in CPU registers, means execution become fast. Okay, clear? Yes. Now we'll see this program. CLR SCR, and here it is get ch, right? Let me save as auto-var2 ridge.c registers, right? I'm storing as ridge.c. okay, let me open on enter and file open ridge.c. so here your program is there. Compile and run it. If you run, it is displaying 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. okay, suppose if I made an initialization is nothing, we'll see what it will accessible. Compile, it consists of an error expression syntax, right? So here you are not supposed to give it, let it be blank. Compile, now no error, run it. If you run, it doesn't give you anything, right? Actually we'll see without using this for loop. If I print, we have to check whether it is a printing garbage value or any zero values, right? So now I want to display the I value. I have not initialized any value to a I, right? But it is a register value. So if you compile and run, it is showing garbage value. Clear? If you run once again, it is showing garbage value. Compile and run, it is showing this is a garbage value because we have not initialized value to your variable, right? Okay, and next we are moving to our next topic is a static storage class. What is the next concept? Static storage class. Yes, the features of this variable defined to be static are as under follows. Let us compare these two programs and their output, given the understand difference between this automatic and static storage class. So here the two programs are exist that you will find the difference between automatic and static storage classes. Let us see. If you take the static variables, storage is memory and its default initial value is 0. Please observe here, default initial value is 0 and its scope is local to the block in which the variable is defined. Its scope is also local to the block wherever you are defined, it is same, and life is value of the variable persists between different function calls. It means the value will be restores, it restores, and if any new value will affect, it will be displayed. Got it? So let us see. For example, these are kind of static variables are very much essential. Now you are viewing your videos in YouTube, right? There you are identifying the views. Okay, there you are identifying the views. Clear? So 1.7 million views, 2.3 million views you are identifying in your YouTube videos, right? So then that views variable is countable by using storage variable, sorry, static variable. So to understand that concept, let us see. Here we are using user defined function. It is increment you are calling. Okay, it is also user defined function, it is also user defined function. So then we will see what is its life. What does this value will say? What is this value is saying? Value of the variable persist means stores. It stores different function calls, it will force. Okay, let us see this program. I will copy and I will explain. Yes, okay, let me copy and paste here. Yes, this is our program, right? And let me remove this. Okay, fine. Here, yes, no clear screen is not supposed to give. This is the function call and this is the function body. I am calling the function, it automatically come to the function body. In the function body, please observe here I am declaring it as a static. Here I am declaring it as a static. The integer variable is declaring as the keyword static. Static means value will per time means it restores. Now I value is 1. I am displaying I value, it is displaying 1 plus 1 2. So after 2 the new value of I is 2. So after that this increment calling is finished. Now once again you are calling this increment. Whenever you calling this function body is existing but I value is already incremented as a 2, so hence this 1 will be replaced with 2 and it will display 2. After displaying 2 it will be increment 2 plus 1 3. Now the new value of I is 3. It will persistent, right? It is retaining. Persistence means retaining. Okay, it is retaining the new value is 3. So here this function call ends, right? This function body is ends, right? Once again you are calling this increment, then what happens? This increment will be called and already persistence value of I is 3. This 1 will be replaced with 3 and now if you display this I value, it is showing as 3. Okay, let us see this program. I will give get ch and let me save it. Let me save it here. Sorry, let me save as. This is stat, right? Static stat.c. Okay, stat.c. Now I'm entering alt enter F3 stat.c. Now you are seeing this program. Here it is a mistake. We don't want additional flower brackets, right? Closing curly bracket. and now I am seeing here one warning is there. Let me check what is the warning. Function should return a value is a warning, we don't need it, and run it. Compile. If you run here, it is showing 1 2 3 842 is also showing because it is a previous program is also displaying. So if you don't want previous program means give the clear screen function. Now compile it and run it. If you run it, it is showing 1 2 3. Actually, once the function call is terminated, it whatever the values it has hold, it will releases. Whatever the value it will have holds, it will releases. But in the case of a static, it doesn't releases, it persists, it retains. Okay, yes. So if I made it as a normal automatic, if I made it as a normal variable, now you will see this value execute. Before that, let me show you the execution levels, execution sequence. Let me check here. So when I am running clear screen function, increment, it is calling, here comes, the value will be incremented, the persistent value will be hold. Okay, and hit ends, and once again it is calling. While calling, the incremented value will be displayed. Okay, and once again the processing phase continues, and here it increment ends, and once again you are calling the increment, it function increment body will be executed, and the persistent value will be displayed, and the value will be incremented. If you call once again, the incremented value will be displayed. Okay, so now if I press the F7, it is showing 1 2 3. Clear? So in the case of static variable, if I make as a automatic variable, so I am not giving auto keyword. Even if I am not giving the auto, then it is automatically automatic variable only. Okay, so if I run this program for 3 times function call, it will return only 1. Why? Once the block is written, the whatever the value it has hold, it will releases. But in the case of static, it persists, it doesn't release, it retains, it persists. Got it? Now compile it, alt F9 and run control F9. If you see the result, alt F5, you are getting only 1 1 1. Why it is not displaying? Please observe here F7. If I press the F7 increment, it is coming here, it is displaying. Afterwards you are calling, it is displaying. Afterwards you are calling, it is displaying. Now you are displaying. So it doesn't retains the old value, it doesn't preserves the old value, and these kinds of value sometimes causes a serious problems in softwares. So that is why static variable are using. Okay, yes. Now our next concept is external storage classes. We will see what is the external storage class. The feature of a variable whose storage classes have been defined as external are as follows. Let us see what are the features of external storage class. Even if you are using the storage class, storage of external storage class, it is nothing but a memory. Okay, it stores in your memory. Then which variable will be stored in your registers? Only register variable. Rest everything variable is stored in your memory. And what is its default initial value? Default initial value is 0, and static is also 0, and rest 2 is garbage. Okay, and scope is global. External storage classes are nothing but global variables. Okay, and life is as long as the program execution doesn't come to end. So then what is its life? It will retain until unless the program comes to an end. Okay, let us see, these are nothing but global variables. What is the global variables? The variables which are declared outside of the main function or outside of the function body, right? Those are global variables. Global variables are nothing but external storage classes. For understanding this, you are seeing here int I you are declared, you are displaying the value, it is a 0, right? Why? It is not a default initial value is not as a garbage value, it will print 0. Now you are incrementing, the value will be incremented. Once you are incrementing, it will be the incremented. If you decremented, it will decrement, right? Because the scope is observed here first you are calling the increment here, it will execute 1 plus 1 0 plus 1 1 will be displayed, and once again you are incrementing. Already I value is bold, it is also persist, right, because its life has not end, got it, and hence it consists of 1 plus 1, it is 2. Okay, if you call the decrement, already it is consist of 2 minus 1, it is printing 1. Once again if you call the decrement method, you are developed a decrement body, so 1 minus 1, it is 0. Suppose if I run this program, you will see this program here. Okay, let me copy and paste it. This is our program. Not required, sorry, it is required. What is the global variable? The variables which are declared outside of the main function. So this is the outside of the main function, right? This is global variable. Global variables also called as external storage class. Okay, storage classes, external, got it. Even if it has gone out, it holds the previous values. Clear? Yes. Now let me save as this with xt.c and open my editor and alt enter. Let me open my file xt.c. this is our program. Let us compile, and the warnings are there, we can ignore and run it, and we will see the result. So if you see the result on first incrementation, it become 1, also it persists the value, and whenever we are calling the same function, it will be added to that number, right? While decrementing, it also persists the value, so hence it is existing, right? So here you are seeing the default value is 0. If you are not initialized this value, then it is taken as 0, and you are calling the increment 0 plus 1 1, and it will be print 1, and now it is holding already 1. Once again you are calling the same function increment, so already 1 plus 1, it is 2. Now it is 2 is a process 2. Yes, 1 plus 1 is 2, already 2 is holding. Now you are calling the decrement here, already I minus 1, I value is hold 2, persist 2 minus 1 is 1, so it is stored in 1, and you are displaying, right? Whenever you are decrementing, once again it is already 1 minus 1 is 0, I will be stored as a 0, and if you display, it will be print as 0. So to understand this sequence, let us run it. It is displaying, it is calling the function call. When it calls, the value will be persist. It calls, the value will be persist. When it calls, the value will be persist. When you call, this value will be persist. So hence the program ends, and if you see this output, you are seeing here. So here it is also showing the previous program, because you have not given the clear screen, right? If you provide the clear screen and get ch, then you are getting your appropriate output. Okay, so that's it. Compile it and run it. Whatever. Control F9. Now you are seeing the output. Got it? Yes. So this is about your storage class. In this storage class, 6 marks question is there. So we are having only 4 storage classes. It defines what the variable would be stored, what is the initial value, what is its scope, and what is its life. So automatic storage class, register storage classes are default initial values are garbage values, static and external is default initial value is 0, and static will persist and external is also persist according to the scope. Everything is up to your program end. Okay, so that is about your chapter 12. Hope you understand this concept. Please give attention this one. You are having 6 to 4 marks questions. Okay, see you in the next class.